Okay, question 3. This goes to Ruth Jones first. A non-discrimination ordinance has been proposed by the business community. Do you support or oppose an NDO in Chandler, and why?
I do support the NDO. I think it's important for all of our citizens to feel protected and safe within our city. I also think that we need to be conscious of those that do feel discriminated against. But a greater issue for me in this subject is the idea that I believe Chandler should be driving their own decisions. Currently, there has been bills proposed in front of our legislature that would make an NDO that would be a state law. Some of the bills that have been brought forth are not good for our city and would hurt our citizens. I would rather have Chandler write an ordinance that's effective for our city, that takes into account the needs of our businesses and the needs of our citizens. And by doing so, we drive our own future and make our own prosperity. I also think it's important to know that since this is an issue that pertains to business, if our business community supports this, I want to be supporting them as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Hartke.
I'll just answer without rebuttal.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Okay. So I first served as Chandler's first Human Relations Commissioner chair for the first 4 years of its history, and we tackled some hard issues related to discrimination, equity, and inclusion in our city. And I have a long track record of helping marginalized and disenfranchised people as a pastor, nonprofit leader, activist, council member, and now mayor. 2 years ago, I issued a proclamation stating the appreciation of our rich diversity, condoning or condemning biased behavior, and expressing a commitment to help anyone in Chandler experiencing discrimination. 2 years ago with council, I tasked the Human Relations Commission to survey our community and see how we could better address awareness, bias, and discrimination. And with council, I instituted both a diversity, equity, and inclusion office and a DEI study that's doing a deep dive looking at this issue both internally with city policies as well as outwardly looking at our community. I pledged and continue to pledge my personal advocacy and mayoral leadership to anyone and everyone in Chandler experiencing discrimination practices by the city, by employers, by housing providers, or others in this committee or in this community. Particularly with housing, my voice during the COVID has literally saved lives and made through the pandemic and got people who were experiencing. So I am not currently supporting an NDO because I believe that it's not the city's role to be determining or discerning microaggressions as opposed to other actions, as well as the process that would condone or condemn people's actions. So I believe we've not experienced this to a point where that is necessary, and my advocacy is far better than an NDO.
Okay. Rebuttal or next question?
I'll go with a rebuttal to that.
You got a minute.
I think that until you've experienced discrimination, you cannot say whether or not it's happened. So while I appreciate a proclamation, I feel that our city needs to have something that protects all of our citizens. And again, I feel that it's important that we remember that the non-discrimination ordinance would only pertain to businesses and what happens in the businesses. Thereby, if our businesses want this, we need to be listening to them, and we need to listen to our residents. I've spoken with many members of our LGBTQ community, and I know that they wish they felt that safe, and they wish they did not feel marginalized. So protecting them is something that we can do while we protect businesses, and that's an important thing.
Thank you. Next question.